See if he can get a turn here in exposure points. This was something that the U.S. coaches worked a lot with Sanderson about, because most American wrestlers are a little behind in the parterre mat wrestling. They're used to collegiate wrestling, a bit different than the international.
And there we have the Sanderson brothers that are here watching Cael go at it. Parents are here strong, very close with his mom and dad. They've supported him throughout his career. Been at everything. His father, Steve, is was his high school coach. He's still the coach at Washout High School in Heber, Utah. And down to the 1 minute mark. 1 minute mark in this period.
Hadai in on a shot on Sanderson now. Starting to turn the corner, and they may score that. A 2-point exposure for Hadii. The referee put 2 up for Sanderson for taking Hadii across his back, and that's going to stand. It was a 2-2 call. Sanderson in front now, 3-2.
An exchange of points here between the United States and Iran, and here's how it looked from our angle.
Hadii, head outside shot on the leg, able to come through, score 2 on Sanderson. Sanderson takes Hadii across his back, evens that exchange out. Sanderson maintains the 1-point lead.
And the referee warning Cael to not talk in this match. Hadai behind right now, 3-2. 40 seconds remaining in the first period.
This
1-point margin.
This match can end in regulation with Sanderson reaching that 3-point limit.
We have 2 matches of competition going on here. Lots of action. A local wrestler from Greece going at it on another mat right now. 20 seconds remaining in this one. We haven't decided a lot. We have the 3-point margin, but Cael Sanderson is ahead of Majid Hadai of Iran as time is running down in the first period. And we are running down here at the end. 3 seconds to go.
Before the period ends, they go out of bounds.
And that will be it. 3-2 margin for Cael Sanderson.
Not Honda, not Toyota.
The crowd going crazy here in this match between the United States and Iran. Cael Sanderson of the United States versus Majid Hadai. And for more on that, let's go to Len Berman.
Well, Iran has a rich wrestling tradition. In fact, 70% of all of their Olympic medals have come in the sport of wrestling, and they are passionate. Take a look at what happened earlier today, the incessant blaring of a giant kazoo type of instrument. In fact, his own countryman was contorted. He couldn't look at times, and one poor German fan had the misfortune of getting the seat directly in front. We asked him if he'd try to change his location, but he couldn't hear our question.
Well, I would expect that the noise will pick up here by those partisan Iranian fans for their favorite. He's in right now. Hadai in on a shot here on the leg of Cael Sanderson. He's down 3-2. This is the second of 3-minute periods.
And Hadai in a real nice shot on Sanderson's right leg was able to finish, and Sanderson just got tilted. That's a 2-point tilt. Hadai now takes the lead 5-3. What a good shot, and he followed it up with a good turn. Sanderson needs to be careful. He was trying to do a whip there on Hadai's back, bring him over and get back exposure there, but no points there for Sanderson. 5-3 your score.
And the Iranian goes ahead. Let's take a look at that series of moves.
Hadai in on the leg, able to finish. That was his first point. There he was taking Sanderson towards his back. Sanderson now responds. Takedown of his own. 5-4 now the score.
And the period will be 3 minutes long. We'll go to the 6-minute mark. It's 5-4 right now. A tight one here. Exchange of technique by both those wrestlers. We go back into the center in the parterre position. Here's that takedown.
Sanderson in on the leg. Finishes, drops the Iranian down to his knees. That's a point for the takedown.
Sanderson has been on 3 world teams for the United States, was silver medalist last year. Hadai was a 2002 world medalist, bronze medalist when it was in Tehran. Right now he's down 5-4 here with less than 2 minutes to go in this period.
Sanderson unable here to turn Hadai. And if there's been one weakness with Sanderson, it had to be his mat wrestling. We've seen him beaten in the United States. And it's always when the wrestling occurs on the mat, either countering one of Sanderson's shots or being turned outright.
And they're ready to get underway. Minute and 40 seconds remaining in this second period. Freestyle wrestling. This is the quarterfinals. Winner goes to the semifinals, where they'll have a shot at medals here in Olympic competition.
Sanderson really picking up the pace. Hadai with a shot of his own. Doesn't get Sanderson's leg. See if Sanderson can turn the corner using this front headlock.
Driving hard as they come back up and then back down to the mat. Iranian wrestler clinging to that leg. Sanderson has to get behind to score.
He's looking to kill time, and now he's moving up. This is a good position for Hadai. He scored here before. Sanderson driving laterally. This is good for Sanderson. He's countering well, and they go out of bounds.
And they're not going to give any points there. 3 officials on the mat. I saw no indication. The white light is on. The family cheering here. The brothers, they've all been wrestlers. They understand the situation that their brother is in. They're back in action on their feet. Let's take a look at that series.
Sanderson was trying to spin behind. Hadai got his head to the outside, seized Sanderson's leg. He scored from that position, but Sanderson able to drive sideways. They went out of bounds. They go out of bounds again.
And still 5-4. Majid Odai of Iran is ahead in this match, 5-4. 45 seconds remaining. The match will end in regulation unless it is tied. Shot in there by Odai of Iran, countered by Cael Sanderson.
Sanderson's got to turn the corner wide. He's awful close to the head there. Hadai will grab the leg, lock his hands like he's doing, and try to kill time.
We're under the 30-second mark. Time critical right now.
Good position for Sanderson, and he scores!
1 point takedown to tie the score, 5-5. 18 seconds remaining in regulation.
What a comeback by Sanderson. Able to get the point when he needed it under pressure. The score is tied. 6 seconds remain.
Well, they'll come back up to their feet. 6 seconds to go in this match. Let's look here.
Sanderson seized Hadai's leg while out in front. That changed the pressure. He was able to turn the corner, score the tying point, and we're going to overtime.
Regulation, and it is tied 5-5. It will all get decided right here. They both have more than 3 points, so we don't have to go to the clinch. Whoever scores first is going to win this match. Quarterfinals, winner advances to the semis in this 185-pound division.
And Sanderson gets the leg. He could score. That should do it. What a comeback by Sanderson.
Well, they go out of bounds, and he will get the takedown or the fleeing the mat call.
Yeah.
His 3 brothers excited for him. They've been in so many wrestling matches themselves. They have watched him wrestle endlessly. He's looking up at them now. Cael Sanderson. He's been waiting to make his mark in international wrestling like he did in the collegiate ranks when he won 4 straight national championships without a loss. He's going to go to the semifinals. Cael Sanderson of the United States will win this match at 185 pounds, and he came from behind to get it done.
What an incredible match. Both entertaining and very competitive. Sanderson, that textbook single leg down by the ankle, got on the board first, 1-0. Hadai got a 2-point exposure, but Sanderson got 2 of his own. And then Hadai took charge. That 1-point takedown, followed by a 2-point tilt. He now led 5-3. But Sanderson would mount a furious comeback. A 1-point takedown, followed by another as he spun behind Hadai. And then here, the winning point, seizing Hadai's ankle and then driving him out of bounds for the winning point.
And Cael Sanderson wins the match. He's down with Len.
Cael down by a point with 20 seconds to go, then sudden death. Were you ever in such a perilous position in your career?
I've been there a few times. The result wasn't the same, you know, but I mean, it was great that was a great match. I mean, man, I'm pumped. He's a tough guy. He, you know, real tactical, tough to beat, so I'm glad to be here.
Were you worried? Were you concerned at that point down?
A little bit, but I knew if I just stayed on him, you know, I could get those takedowns. I mean, I made it hard on myself when I go back to college wrestling, roll across my back too many times and have to make up for it, but I felt good.
Now you will wrestle for a medal. Your thoughts on that?
I'm ready. Man, I'm just glad it's here. This is a tough first day. You know, it's great to get through this day, and now, you know, I'm hoping to wrestle better every time.
Is it everything you've dreamed of, going for the medal?
Well, I got to get it first. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a huge relief and just a lot of. I'll be a happy dude, I guess. You know.
We've heard that line before. Thanks a lot, Cael.
I use it all the time.
The Jeff Blatnick line, guys.
Well, he is a happy dude. His brothers are happy for him. They've wrestled with him throughout many matches in his career, cheering on that final point that he was able to score to decide the match. Here it comes.
And this is a big test for Cael Sanderson when he needed the point for a major competition internationally. Here he gets it, and he'll be wrestling for an Olympic medal.
And Cael Sanderson does get out of the quarterfinals. He will advance to the semifinals.
Sanderson was one of 3 American men making their Olympic debuts today, and all 3 advanced to the semifinals. The U.S. team accounted for 1 freestyle gold medal in Sydney, but could improve on that performance here in Athens. Coming up, Greek javelin star Mirella Mignani sought to improve on her
Olympics in 2000. He brings a wealth of experience. Sanderson missed the 2001 World Championships because of 9/11, and then missed the 2002 World Championships because the State Department wouldn't let the team travel to Iran. So he's only had 1 major event at the world level last year where he took a silver.
And he's been facing a lot of pressure and expectation to get it all done here. Kind of unfair to him, but they got used to that performance in the college level, and right now he is being tested here. Yoel Romero of Cuba ahead 1-0 with 25 seconds remaining in the first period.
And the 2 very cautious, neither one of them being overly aggressive. Romero sort of forcing the tie right there, staying close to Sanderson. Sanderson likes to initiate his attack a little bit from the outside, and he's going to score here.
There it is, 1 point for the takedown, 5 seconds remaining in the first period.
He doesn't like to be too tight. Once he creates a little space, he's able to execute.
And so it is tied 1-1 in this semifinal match at 185 pounds. We get underway here at 84 kilograms, 185 pounds. This is the semifinals. We're tied right now, and here's how the action went. Cael Sanderson had the final shot to score a takedown.
He got a little room pushing away from Romero, dropped down, seized the ankle, drove him down for the tying point.
Second and final period here in this match. Freestyle wrestling, you can attack upper body, you can attack the legs, and we have 2 great ones here. Going at it, the test here to see who can get out of the semifinals and into the finals in this weight division. As we said before, Romero was a world champion in this weight class. He was a silver medalist in Sydney. Must have 3 points to win at the end of 6 minutes, and Sanderson in on another attack.
Got that right ankle again. Finished cleanly. That's what the U.S. coaches, particularly Kevin Jackson, had said. He wants Sanderson not to stay on his knees, and if he does take the shot, finish quickly and most importantly cleanly.
And for the first time in the match, Cael Sanderson is ahead 2-1. Just under 2 minutes remaining. A look of confidence there on the face of Romero. Didn't think like he was worried about any turn.
I think Romero wants this to be a takedown game. Romero would like to keep this battle in the standing position, bring his speed into play. And there you see the quickness of Sanderson. He gets to that ankle before Romero can react. And he finished quickly and cleanly, getting behind, scoring the point. And again, Sanderson putting on a clinic on how to get in on Romero. Finishes strong.
Well, he has come out intense in the second period. Ahead right now 3-1 over Romero of Cuba. A lot of pressure on Cael Sanderson of the United States. He's the only wrestler ever to be on a Wheaties box, and of course that was for his 4 NCAA titles in undefeated fashion when he was at Iowa State. Here's a look at that shot and takedown.
He got in on the leg, was on his knees a little bit, but got his head up, back straight. Another good shot of it here. Drives the leg down. Now he cuts across to the double, head up, good drive, putting Romero down to the mat. He now leads 3-1. This match can end in regulation.
And 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in this match. They will stop the action in the parterre position, bring them up to their feet. A little extra communication there between the referee and Cael Sanderson in the red singlet. Romero now on the offense.
Good shot by Romero. Oh, Sanderson does a good job of turning and facing. It seemed Romero had the opportunity to turn the corner, but Sanderson's quickness able to counter.
And we're down to a minute remaining here for Cael Sanderson or Yoel Romero to get to the gold medal match. Who will it be? Sanderson ahead right now 3-1. In control of this match, but anything can happen in freestyle wrestling.
Sanderson does not want to back out of bounds under attack, and he turns towards the center. A good tactic there. But how many times has Sanderson been behind in his life? He doesn't have a lot of practice at holding on to a lead late in the match. He's always ahead.
And I'm impressed with his reaction on defense when you consider how aggressive he has been in offense in his entire life. He's really taking the match away from Romero.
Good ties. Turning, just don't back out of bounds. Referee warning him about it.
30 seconds remaining. Who will go on to the match for the gold?
So dominant in college. Oh, he doesn't want to give up back exposure here. He can give up a takedown and not lose. He just doesn't want to give up the 2-point tilt, and now he's in good position. He's got Romero flat.
Well, conditioning a factor in the end of the match. A powerful wrestler, Romero, but right now a little tired at the end of the match, and we will stalemate it right here. Only 8 seconds to go in this match at 185 pounds.
Good stance, stay in the center, and this match belongs to Sanderson. Just don't back out of bounds.
4 seconds remaining. Oh, they're going to give a point to Romero. They didn't even go out of bounds, almost
Chairman
like they were looking for something. Chairman confirmed it. 1 point for Romero, now 3-2. Sanderson needs to stay in the match, and there it is. An impressive performance for Cael Sanderson of the United States. He has been a man on a mission here in his first Olympic Games. Gets a little tap of appreciation from Yoel Romero of Cuba. And our winner, Cael Sanderson of the United States, 185 pounds. He wins the match and will go on for the gold medal later on. What an impressive display of technique and aggressiveness. Let's take a look at how that happened, Jeff.
Well, I believe Romero played into Sanderson's strength, and that was making a takedown game. And Sanderson so good at that low ankle shot, able to score takedown after takedown. Here's his second point. Same type of shot. Very strong, very creative. No one's ever really been able to hang on the head and then drop down to the ankle the way Sanderson does. A powerful finish for the third point.
And your winner, let's go down to Len with Sanderson.
Cael, I saw you over here scouting him yesterday. What did you see that paid off?
Well, he's been around a long time. You know, I just kind of entertain myself more than scouting, because I mean, he knows what I do and I know what he does. So I mean, that's our third match. So
undefeated in college, now undefeated in the Olympics. Your thoughts on that?
One more. I got to wrestle real well tonight, and I'm going to go home real happy.
You have to be real emotional about, though, being in the gold medal match.
Yeah, this is big. This is real big. I mean, it's a tough road, and it has been real tough. So I mean, it feels great to be here now.
Good luck in the gold.
Thank you.
And he will advance for the gold medal match. He knew he had it just seconds before the end of the match. A big smile from our winner, Cael Sanderson of the United States, 185-pound winner. He goes for the gold.
4 NCAA titles and the only collegiate wrestler ever to go undefeated, calling it a couple of Olympic medal winners, Russ Hellickson and Jeff Blatnick.
Imagine yourself being this man, Cael Sanderson, 25-year-old wrestling phenom from Heber City, Utah. Imagine being perfect where no one else has ever been perfect before. 159-0 for your entire collegiate wrestling career. And since that magical career, he has not been perfect. He has suffered losses in international wrestling, but today he goes against Moon Udyai of Korea to try to win the Olympic gold medal.
I don't think Cael Sanderson got 2 full breaths in after having his hand raised in that last collegiate match before people started asking, when are you going to win the Olympics? I can't imagine how much expectation and pressure has been put on the shoulders of this young man.
But Cael has found himself in a dilemma that he's orchestrated himself with that perfect collegiate career. It seems like he's got to win more for everybody else. His fans have gotten to expect it. This is freestyle wrestling. 2 periods, 3 minutes each. One of the wrestlers must score at least 3 points by the end of regulation for the match to end. That would be at the end of 6 minutes. And in freestyle wrestling, you can attack upper body or lower body, a style that's very close to the collegiate style that Cael Sanderson wrestled when he was younger.
If you had to put Sanderson's collegiate career into perspective, think of the '72 Miami Dolphins. They went 17-0, a perfect season. Nobody has done it since, and I think it's going to be a real long time before somebody matches what Sanderson accomplished in college.
And the test right now in freestyle wrestling, and this match, the 185-pound, 84-kilogram gold medal match. Moon Ujai of Korea was a silver medalist in Sydney. He was also second in the world in 2001 and 1998, so he's a seasoned veteran. He did that at the 76-kilogram weight. Moved up right now, and the matchup here should be a pretty even one between these two. And Cael Sanderson comes from a very strong wrestling family. There you see 2 of his brothers, Cole and KAYL. The entire family wrestles. Mother Debbie and Steve have taken them all over America to wrestle at all levels. They've supported him throughout his career.
And Father Steve has been a very successful coach at Wasatch High School, building a dynasty there as his sons wrestled through high school.
And we have a passivity call. Moon of Korea is put down. The officials have determined that he is less aggressive than Cael Sanderson. They give Sanderson an opportunity to work in this top position and try to put some points on the board.
Sanderson trying to work an ankle lace, crossing Moon's ankle across one another. And he tried to score there. Moon trying to turn the corner, get a reversal, but they go out of bounds. No points.
That's what you want.
Well, a lot of motion there, but no points. Aggressive action by both wrestlers to fight out of potentially effective situations. Just under a minute and a half remaining in this first period. No score.
Russ Sanderson really put a lot of effort into that ankle lace, but Moon with a terrific counter almost got a point himself with a reversal. But no score, they're back in the standing position.
That voice you're hearing in the background is Olympic coach, one of the Olympic coaches, Bobby Douglas, who coached Cael Sanderson at Iowa State University. Helped him get that 159-0, and he's looking for Douglas right now to get him one more win here in the Olympic competition.
Having talked to the U.S. coaches, they felt that Sanderson would have a conditioning edge over Moon. After scouting Moon in the semifinal, they said he faded late in the match, so Sanderson wanted to use conditioning as a weapon.
And we still have no score with 45 seconds remaining in this period. Cael Sanderson out of Ames, Iowa, going against Moon Ujai of Korea. He is out of Daejeon, Korea, 29 years of age, and has been quite successful in international wrestling. They're brought back to the center. A little bit of a warning there to stay out of that red zone area toward the edge of the mat. Keep it in the center, and wrestling continues. Just over 30 seconds remaining.
Here's Sanderson changing levels. That's his effective technique, working the head of his opponent, changing levels and getting down to the opponent's ankles. And the one thing the coaches said is they don't want Sanderson to stay on his knees. I've seen many of Sanderson's losses in international competition, and normally it occurs when Sanderson takes too long on his knees to finish a takedown.
A cautious beginning for both of these wrestlers in this gold medal match at 84 kilograms. Just a few seconds remaining here in this first period. We still have no score. Wrestlers showing great respect, and that's the way the first period will end, 0-0.
Hey, you got to give him a fist. You got to give him a fist.
This is the gold medal match at 84 kilograms, 185 pounds. Cael Sanderson out of Ames, Iowa in the red singlet against Moon Ujai of Korea in the blue. They didn't score any points in the first period. They go to the clinch, established by International Wrestling to make sure that someone scores 1 point.
And Sanderson had a lock first, and he broke his lock right there, Russ. That's one of the things you can't do. If a minute had gone by without Cael scoring, he would have been penalized a point. He took the risk of breaking his lock to attack Moon's ankle. He got a hold of the ankle, but he couldn't finish the score.
And here we take a look at that. He slips away.
And he went after Moon's left ankle, but he was unable to hang on to it. That's breaking the grip. 1 point penalty, and Moon puts Sanderson down.
We talked with Steve Sanderson, Cael's father, and he indicated that he had lost the fire in wrestling when he got into international wrestling. A lot of pressure on him. He just wasn't enjoying it anymore. But his dad said that he really had gotten fired up beginning with the trials for the Olympic team and really has a new attitude and new appreciation for wrestling again.
Russ, I talked with Bobby Douglas, his college coach. He's here Matt's side, and he concurred. He said Sanderson was starting to treat the sport like a job. But we've seen that passion. In a couple of his early victories here at the games, he displayed a lot of emotion, something we never saw during that 159-0 run.
Well, his brothers were not happy with the call there. No points for either of the wrestlers in this situation. 1-0 right now for Moon of Korea. That score stands. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in this second period inside the gold medal.
Once again, a wrestler needs to get the 3 points for the match to end in regulation time. That's the 6-minute mark. Otherwise, they go to a 3-minute overtime. Sanderson starting to really move into Moon now. He's starting to get very aggressive, and there's a great leg shot. He's got both ankles of Moon. He forces Moon to his backside, and they both go towards their back. This will be an interesting call. There could have been a 2-2 call, 2 points for each wrestler, but I thought Sanderson had Moon on his backside. He may have forced the Korean to his back.
No, 2-2. Come on, Cael. Hey, break him now. Break him.
And Coach Bobby Douglas, one of those Olympic coaches here in Athens, hoping to coach him to one more victory to match those 159 he had in college. There we take a look at Sanderson's move that should have scored him 2. And there it is.
Sanderson put Moon on his back. Both of Sanderson's shoulders were on top of Moon's chest. Sanderson's back never touched the mat, and Sanderson initiated the move. That's why it's a 2-point exposure for the American. 2-1 to score.
And this match cannot be won unless one of these wrestlers gets to 3. Cael Sanderson in, just over a minute remaining.
This is the same position Sanderson scored 2 from before. Moon not trying to take him over backwards, and Sanderson gets Moon to break the lock. He's going to score a takedown. Moon tried desperately to counter, but Sanderson had solid position, got Moon to turn to his stomach, scored the 1-point takedown.
And just over 40 seconds remaining, and right now Cael Sanderson has enough points to win this match. His brother's cheering. He also has another brother, Cody, who he wrestled with at Iowa State University. They competed together, so the whole family here. Here's a look at that shot.
Sanderson in, maintaining good position. Moon tried to bring him over for a counter, couldn't do it. Sanderson with that 3rd important point.
Only 10 seconds remaining, time running down. Cael Sanderson can't sense it. Look at the smile on his face. He knows how close he is.
And there's some emotion. Normally we never see it, and it's obvious he's enjoying himself.
6 seconds to go. This for the gold medal. Time ticks down, and that is it.
You got to go. Good job. You got to go. You got to go.
Well, any feel of pressure should be all gone right now for Cael Sanderson of the United States. He has won the gold medal. The monkey is off his back. His college coach is elated for him.
Good job. Now you can celebrate. Now you can celebrate.
And now you can celebrate. Forget all that expectation. He has gotten it done, and here's how it happened.
From the clinch position, Sanderson broke his grip, giving Moon a point. And then Sanderson would attack the legs of Moon and gain 2 points back exposure to take a 2-1 lead. And then once again, Sanderson on the attack would gain that all-important 3rd point.
And it feels so good. Let's go to Len Berman with Cael Sanderson.
Draped in the American flag, Cael, can you put into words what this gold medal means to you?
I'm still realizing it, I guess. Man, this is great. I can't believe it. Really, I can't believe it.
There were such high expectations for you for so many years. What does it mean to finally realize that?
Man, it feels great. What a relief. I mean, just so much pressure put on myself to finally get here and get it done, and man, this is big for me.
You had said you're going to, after the Olympics, sleep, fish, and drink soda pop. Is that really how you're going to celebrate?
Pretty much. My wife, we're just going to disappear for a while. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been here. There's no way.
Congratulations, gold medal, America's new golden boy of wrestling, Cael Sanderson.
Thank you.
And no expectation could possibly be greater than what Cael Sanderson has achieved. He is the Olympic champion at 185 pounds. And the family that shared so much in his quest for this Olympic dream could enjoy the moment. And the college coach who helped him win 159 times shared one more victory. Cael Sanderson, perfect again, and the Olympic champion.
During his great collegiate career, wins the gold medal, his first is the bronze medalist. And again, as we've seen at some other competitions, some of the athletes not quite sure what to do with the olive wreath, whether to place it over their heart like a baseball player would during the playing of the national anthem with his ball cap, or put it back on the head, and in Sanderson's case, a little bit of both. Now,
along the road to the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, wrestling, boxing, taekwondo, judo, karate, and fencing, plus the explosive elegance and brute strength of the shot put and weightlifting. While the Olympics may come upon us just once every 4 years, these competitors train every day, preparing for that ultimate moment of truth. Welcome to the Titan Games. Match for American superstar Cael Sanderson. Over the years, the U.S. has produced some of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but only one went undefeated throughout his collegiate career. He is Cael Sanderson out of Iowa State University, 159-0 in his collegiate career, but he has very little international experience. He's a tough guy, and he'll be up in Battle Zone 3 next. Well, here we go. I'm joined now by Jeff Latnick, the 1984 Olympic champion in Greco-Roman wrestling. This, Jeff, is the first major senior international opponent for Cael Sanderson. Yoel Romero, the tough guy from Cuba at 25 years old, very experienced.
Yes, he is a 5-time world medalist, second in Sydney at the Olympics, world champion as well. And because it was a scoreless first period, they start in the clinch. Both wrestlers having identical locks, and Sanderson dropping down and hooking an ankle, and he will score first blood in this match. That's a point for a takedown. And you can see how quickly he changes levels, and that is really a Cael Sanderson trademark, the ability to get low and secure the opponent's ankle, leading to a takedown.
Talk about the different styles. He, of course, is very successful in NCAA freestyle wrestling. International freestyle is slightly different.
Yes, it is. Our collegiate style is very different. 45-degree angle of the back and hold for a 2 count to score back points, where internationally it's 90 degrees and all you have to do is flash. And Romero returns the favor to Sanderson, getting his own takedown. Now 1-1, and the action in the second period heating up. And this is where Sanderson perhaps is the least experienced in his wrestling career, and that is parterre on the mat international style. And Romero really didn't try anything there. Good defense by Sanderson. But that is where he will be tested by the international competition. He's used to the collegiate style, and part of the reason is he would have been 2 years ago in the World Championships in Madison Square Garden, except for 9/11. He then wanted to finish his career, and then last year he was on the world team, but they were scheduled to go to Tehran, Iran. And the State Department said there was a directed threat at the U.S. team, and the U.S. team did not travel.
Talk about what makes him such a top opponent. He is a big guy at 185, but he has mobility. Of course, so does Romero.
Yes, he does. And Sanderson's style is built on feel. He feels the opponent pushing into him. He likes to hang on his opponent's head. And amazingly, he gets a lot of pressure down on the opponent's head, forcing the opponent's foot to post. In other words, the weight's put on it, the opponent can't lift it, and like that, he gets in nice and low and is able to secure the ankle. And that's the second takedown now for Sanderson, and he's up 2-1. Good point there, because if he can get to 3, the match can end in regulation. Ooh, a nice little scramble here at the edge of the mat. Sanderson needs to be careful. He wants to elevate that leg, and they go out of bounds. No score. It was that very position that Sanderson, I've seen him lose to a couple of Americans, that he was taken advantage of in laying on the leg, the opponent able to turn him. You can hear Kevin Jackson in the background yelling, keep wrestling, don't just lay there.
Quite a wrestling family, coached throughout high school by his father, Steve Sanderson, and his brothers Cody and Cole also wrestled at Iowa State.
Well, Sanderson will be wrestling full-time freestyle this year. He's got a World Cup coming up in Boise, Idaho in April. He'll be at the Nationals in May, which determines the ladder for the World Team Trials, which will be coming up in June. That'll be in Indianapolis. And, of course, the World Championships for freestyle this year, Madison Square Garden, New York City, in September 12th through 14th. And Sanderson, if he can win that, he will be a household name in the United States. He was a finalist for the Sullivan Award this year.
That's right, and he's already appeared on the Wheaties box for his NCAA collegiate success.
Two to 1 you score. Sanderson, one more point and he can end this in regulation time. Otherwise we go to overtime and another clinch. And Romero knows that. That's the benefit of experience. You know, it might be that Sanderson thinks that he has to win it in regulation. In international wrestling, you don't have to. You can carry it into overtime.
And so that's the end of the second period, 2-1. A wrestler must reach 3 points to get the win. So we are going to overtime with Sanderson and Romero when we come back to the Titan game. City for more of the Titan game, and certainly one of the most anticipated matches of this competition, featuring Yoel Romero from Cuba and Cael Sanderson from the United States. 2-1 is the score at the end of the second period. Jeff, this was potentially a takedown for Sanderson, but it didn't earn a point.
No, it didn't. Sanderson clearly here muscles Romero down and spins behind him. Both of Romero's arms are on the mat. I don't know why that was not a takedown point.
Let's talk about the rules in overtime.
Well, after a scoreless period, they start in the clinch. And actually, it was 2-1 at the end of regulation. And anytime neither wrestler gets to 3 points, they start in the clinch in overtime. And that's where they are right now. If either wrestler breaks the lock here like Sanderson just did, it's going to cost him a point. That's a penalty. Romero gets a point. He has the opportunity to put Sanderson down as well. And he elects to keep him standing. Interesting call by Romero.
Score is 2-2 in overtime.
And it's now sudden death. First takedown wins. If time runs out in overtime, they go to the caution and passive calls.
Conditioning becomes a factor at this point?
Absolutely. The backs are burning right now. This is great experience for Sanderson. He's only going to continue to get better. And to meet Romero in this kind of a competition is great preparation for World Championships and Olympic Games. And you see the speed of Romero. Very good with his attacks. Good counters.
Talk about two guys 185 pounds, and yet they have the mobility of some of the smaller wrestlers.
Oh, they're very cat-like, no doubt. Sanderson will have a run at experience, a World Cup coming up, our nationals, and of course the World Team Trials, where who represents the United States in the World Championships in Madison Square Garden in September will occur. And Romero in nicely there. Oh, beautiful double leg. That's a takedown, and that's going to end the bout. Sanderson will lose.
That will be it. Romero 3-2 over the highly regarded Cael Sanderson.
And here you see the shot. Romero got underneath Sanderson's hips, brought the head to the outside, cut to a double leg takedown, and finished strongly there.
And a tough loss for Sanderson, but perhaps a good lesson. I have a feeling we'll see these two again, maybe even in the Olympic final.
4 pounds. For those of you that follow college wrestling, and even for those that don't, you'll be looking now at Cael Sanderson. At 184 pounds for Iowa State, has never tasted defeat as a collegian. Even Dan Gable could not make that claim. Guys, he's going up against Daniel Cormier, really one of the athletes in the NCAA that does have a legitimate shot at pushing Cael Sanderson. He hasn't done it so far this season. Sanderson right in on the leg of Cormier right off the bat. He's not going to play cat and mouse.
Well, Sanderson is just expert at the leg attacks, and you mentioned about Sanderson's record, but Cormier is one of the few guys that have gone the distance with him and not given up bonus points, lost by more than 8 points. So they've been close matches.
A decisive finish there to the takedown attempt for Cael Sanderson. And go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say they've been close matches, but not close technically. Close score-wise, but there's been a little bit of a difference there between the two. Here you see Sanderson on the leg attack, sweeps. Beautiful finish, Kendall. Absolutely.
Well, Kendall, what do you think about that kind of a finish in relation to international style wrestling, where we may see Cael Sanderson down the line?
Yeah, he really is. I believe he's the future of USA wrestling. I can't imagine it. We wouldn't see him in the next couple of Olympics. You know, I think it's what he chooses to do. If he stays in the sport, however long he stays in, he's probably going to be the man at that weight.
Well, you know that the United States is hosting the World Wrestling Championships in freestyle Greco and women's in New York, September 26th through the 29th. You could very easily see Cael Sanderson in there. There's a lot of competition at that weight class, but you know, if you wanted to plan a vacation ahead of time, I'd just block out September 26th through the 29th, or actually June 22nd through the 24th in Cincinnati for the World Team Trials. Both of those dates, you're going to see the highest quality wrestling that the United States and the world have to offer.
You know, people talk about Cael Sanderson and what makes him different, and I think this is the thing that makes him different. He disguises his lead leg. He shows that right leg as the lead leg the whole time, all right? And when he goes to shoot, all right, he changes around. So there's his lead leg. He disguises it, and when he actually goes to shoot, he throws his left leg forward, as he did in that instance right there. He's almost ambidextrous on his shot, but he shows one leg forward and then comes back and attacks with the back leg, and so far the rest of the competition hasn't been able to keep up with it.
And Jim Gibbons, Rasputin-like call there for you at home.
So, Jim, as a successful coach, former successful coach, what would be your strategy against somebody like Cael Sanderson?
If you look at his technique there's the leg I was talking about, the one he disguised. Came up with the left leg, drives right through, I don't know. I really haven't. I've tried to come to terms with that. You've got to recognize when he sneaks that left leg forward, his left leg forward, he's coming for the shot. So you've got to maybe try to create more lateral motion, going side to side, and see what you can do to get in on his leg.
Brought back to the mat with authority, Cael Sanderson bringing Daniel Cormier into position.
You know, he's so much, you know, Dan Gable won on kind of a power style, get on top, bar arms, and that's basically the way that the style was. Cael Sanderson is the excellent scrambler. You know, he's got the whole scramble package, whereas John Smith was kind of the lightning strike, you know, motion out in front. So, you know, I consider him obviously one of the you know, potentially one of the great ones with what's ahead of him here, but it's like he's doing it a different way. He's doing it his own way.
That's true. He's got his own style. He's not copying anybody. He's out there doing his own thing.
There's John Smith, a 6-time consecutive world champion, a couple Olympic championships in there. We were just mentioning his style. And for those of you on the Cael Sanderson watch at the NCAA, number 2 ranked wrestler at this weight is Nate Patrick. Number 4 ranked Damian Hahn from Minnesota. And I don't know if it really matters.
It always matters when you get to the tournament. You, of course, know that, Larry, but it's just that what's going to be the wrestler? What are going to be the qualities of the guy that beats him, and what will that match be like? I just can't wait to see.
Yeah, I remember seeing Lincoln McElravy, you know, who was dominant in his weight class for so many years there in college, go through a loss, a pretty devastating loss as a junior, I believe it was, and he was pretty, you know, one of the dominant ones. I don't think he's quite what a Cael Sanderson is right now, but it certainly was an upset, and a major one at that.
Well, somebody believing right now that they have the opportunity to make history and to beat a guy like this. I mean, you know, you remember hearing the stories about Larry Owens, how, I mean, he cut down to, he wanted to wrestle Gable. I mean, that was his approach. And if there's somebody out there that has the potential of making history, you know, they'll have to go through this man to do it.
That's right. And he will bring his team into second place if he wins this. Right now, it's Oklahoma 65, Oklahoma State 64, Iowa State 64 and a half. So if things go on as they are.
There you see, he's showing the right leg again. That's his lead leg. Now he comes back, he switches it off. And that's just getting people, they just haven't figured that out yet.
Frustration on the face of Daniel Cormier.
The thing is, Cormier is a very fabulous wrestler himself. You know, he's just, against Sanderson, against the Cael Sanderson, he just doesn't look it.
And you watch Cael Sanderson wrestle, you'll see him deep on ankles with guys standing straight up more times than any other wrestler you'll see out there today.
You know, and Sanderson, what a balanced wrestler, good in every phase of the sport, and right now displaying it in the top position.
I think this is where he's improved the most this year, is in the top position.
Both wrestlers reached the finals by virtue of falls. Daniel Cormier with a big throw and trip in the semifinal. To watch him wrestle any other athlete, you'd think that he could be Cael Sanderson, essentially, because he really is a great athlete. But then when they get on the mat together, you see that there is a distance between the two.
That's true. I've heard John Smith speak very highly of Cormier, talking about how where his abilities are, and then he has a chance to possibly beat Sanderson. But it's obvious that this is, you know, this is not close.
Into the second period, 6-3 in favor of Cael Sanderson with riding time, which he cannot lose. It would be essentially 7-3. Cormier with his chance on top. The release now 7-3 on the scoreboard. I think that Cormier would like to get a little momentum for the NCAA tournament with the takedown.
Well, Cormier's strength is upper body. He had a beautiful lateral drop, almost back-to-back type technique in the semifinals to get the fall. And he can throw. But there again, the question, that's his brother Cody Sanderson here taking photos.
You know, what was interesting at the semifinals was that Cormier threw his opponent and pinned his opponent, and it was like Sanderson looked over at the other mat, and within 20 seconds he'd pinned his opponent, rolled him up like a bug, and he'd scored his fall as well. Now battling a deficit of 4 points on the board, 1 minute and 8 seconds left in this match at 184 pounds, Big 12 Conference Wrestling Championships. a bit of history being made every time Cael Sanderson walks out on the mat. He'll be 114-0, I believe, at the end of this match, if it continues in the manner that it is right now.
There's the first real.
Cormier certainly is taking his shots here, just not able to get anything going. It's going to take a big move here. Don't really see it happening just because he can't get to him at all.
I think when you watch Cael, you watch his footwork. You know, he just keeps the weight on the balls of his feet. As I mentioned before, he comes with that shot. He comes with the back leg.
I am so impressed with the quality of the strategy and the technical abilities of Cael Sanderson. 15 seconds left now in this match. He really isn't one to coast at the end. And
no, that's right, Larry. He's still going. He's got a lead. He's going to win the match, but he's still shooting. Still going. Never quits.
And there you see it. The final score, 8-3 in favor of Cael Sanderson. He is, again, the Big 12 Conference Wrestling Champion for Iowa State. That moves them in the second period at 85 kilos. You're looking at Charles Burton. He has a little cut that opened up. He's got a bandage on there. Here's how we got to the 3-1 score for Sanderson in the blue.
You can see Sanderson here in a low leg shot. He works around the head, and watch him use his right knee, steps over his head, and gets the 2 points as they go off the mat.
Well, that was the bulk of the scoring. That got Cael Sanderson the lead that he needed. It's 3-1 now. Burton and Sanderson traded takedowns from that point. The story of Cael Sanderson, as most of you know out there, he's an undefeated collegiate wrestler, now moving up into the international ranks, going up against Olympian Charles Burton.
He still has a year of eligibility in college left, so we'll be seeing him in the NCAAs next year. It's almost like he's going up and picking on the big boys. Doing very well at it, I must say. The difference right now is the turn that he had after his takedown, the exposure to Burton's back, and now we're at 3-1.
Well, this is not where he really wants to be with his hands locked up high on the thigh of Burton. He's usually getting down low, and there's Steve Sanderson next to Bobby Douglas. Steve Sanderson, the father of Cael Sanderson, really has groomed him through the years, as well as a lot of other wrestlers from the state of Utah. Now Cael Sanderson back in on the leg of Charles Burton. He's down in low. This is where he had scored earlier.
He's just in complete control down here. It doesn't seem like it because he's got his head down, but watch him now. He drives across. Boy, just made that look easy.
Charles Burton's knee had a little stress on it there, and after the position became Cael Sanderson, he scored, and now a 4-1 lead for Sanderson.
Burton, last year's Olympian, like we said in the opening, he just came inches away from, or seconds away from medaling last year, but Sanderson has confidence against Burton. He beat him 2 years ago in this tournament.
You know, let's put this in perspective a little bit for the folks at home. Charles Burton was the Olympian last year. He missed winning a bronze medal by about 8 seconds. He won the Cockney Cup in Iran. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and Cael Sanderson has got him on the ropes right now, 4-1.
Yeah, this is impressive to see. Just a junior in college competing at this level. Here he is wrestling an Olympian who came so close to medaling in the Sydney Games, and right here he's taking it to him. He's got a decisive 4-1 lead.
Now Burton wants to get some of those points back. He's got Sanderson's back to the edge of the mat. He's trying to find position here. Humbling for position. Fight Sanderson to the edge, and as soon as they got there, Sanderson worked his way back in, and he didn't lose any momentum there at all.
Kept the tie, worked to the head, circled around, great position. Now he's in like you mentioned before, he doesn't want to go straight on with Burton. I think that's Burton's strength, but you aren't going to see him here there very many times in this match, I don't think, going straight on, particularly with 4 points scored in the match for him.
Right. He can stand to be a little more conservative now with a 4-1 lead. He can actually give up a takedown and obviously still win the match. So I can't see him taking too many dangerous chances to rack up any more points.
I was just going to make a prediction, though, that he would be back in on the leg of Burton before the end of the match. It's just Sanderson's style. He really just turns on the engine and just keeps on going until the whistle blows. And here he is putting some real stress on Charles Burton again.
Yeah, that's home for him right there with his ear on somebody's ankle.
Right, that's not dangerous for him. He likes to be there.
18 seconds left in a real telling match here. Charles Burton really putting on a pretty good performance himself, but Sanderson just staying out of a danger Burton on the edge of the mat, and Sanderson slips out.
Well, they'll have two more. These guys may wrestle two more times, but like I said, we may be seeing the coming out party of Cael Sanderson in international competition.
Very nice match by Sanderson. Tough bout for Burton. Looks like Sanderson's for real.
Cael Sanderson wrestling for Iowa State. You can't say that too often in the finals of the U.S. Open.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Cael Sanderson.
One-point mat control, Magomedov. Seconds to go here in the first period. Cael Sanderson with that patented quickness. Oh, and he picked up that single leg again, so easy on the low ankle pick. 5-1 into the break for Cael Sanderson. Magomedov on the attack. Sanderson on the attack. Magomedov with the mat control. Agamedion attacking the leg now. Sanderson trying to post the head. And Sanderson reaches across for an ankle of his own. Now Sanderson on the attack. Sanderson clears his leg and scores. Back up on their feet they come. 1:42 remains in the match. 6-2 advantage. Team USA's Cael Sanderson. Anderson reaching for the opponent's left leg on the last shot. Sanderson scores. Cross ankle pick this time. Can't keep both legs away from him, it seems. Count them down, ladies and gentlemen, 3 seconds. And Cael Sanderson breaks onto the senior freestyle stage, and he is, you guessed it, undefeated once again. Kurt Angle Wrestling Classic champion, Cael Sanderson.